we're getting more people to join the Dawnguard. Be able to quick travel to almost both locations. Right. One was really near Iverstead, so that's where we can pretty much just drop in. A little bit to the west. Is there already a stronghold here? Okay.
Help! Is someone there?
Ambush. Ambush of sorts. Yeah, I should take up Forsworn armor, boots, and headdress too. I mean, you never know what you want to look like. And it looks very different on a female compared to a male. It's an armor. Not that heavy either. Oh, we could collect more alchemical ingredients. We certainly have plenty of those, but at the same time, we need to raise alchemical abilities drastically. There's a synergy with almost everything we do. I mean, we can boost the destruction damage, we can make better enchantments, all kinds of nice things through alchemy. It's another skill that would require significant investment, 5 points at least. So I have no interest in doing it now. But it's definitely under radar. Thing why it's only on the radar is that I don't want to drink potions constantly. I just don't want to do it. It's useful, nice buffs and all that, but I just don't want to go constantly in my inventory and do potions and potions and potions. For special occasions only. Quick entrance, I just want to see. Can we buy something, get some training maybe?
I have poisons for your weapons, and cures for your ill. So you're interested in my potions and ingredients.
I sell something? Not really.
Until next time. I envy you, Outlander. You can choose to leave if you wish.
Borgach the Steel Heart.
Until next time.
Looks like a potential orcish companion.
You need some armor, Outlander?
Her weapons and armor are impressive.
It is said that an orc first learns to wield a hammer in her mother's womb. By tradition, a mother always teaches her children how to smith. If a chief has a second wife, she is called the Forge Wife in honor of this. Take a look.
Glass helmet of major country.
Fight well.
There's a mine here. Yep. Suppose we might as well take a look what it is. It's probably Orichalcum. If it is, I have no interest in it. But there's a difference between
You
assuming and
should see
knowing.
my mother, Sharam, if you need a cure or a poison.
I work in the forge and the mines. Mother says it pleases her and
More Kazgur mine.
need something.
I have metal to dig.
Orichalcum.
Malakath has given me the task to mine. Good ore brings me back.
It's
The mines are
okay.
hard.
If we ever need
Malakath
Orichalcum,
is
we have these places to come and get it from. I don't want to get it without actual reason though. Looks like saber cats. We're fairly close to our target. I'm not gonna go into this cave, but I want to mark it. It's so close. Darkfall Cave. Soul of a goat. There she is. So,
You haven't seen a sack full of dwarven gyros lying around, have you? I'd swear I left it right here. Do you think mud crabs might have taken it? I saw one the other day. Wouldn't be surprised if it followed me here. Just look around, will you?
what the fuck are you talking about?
Isran? Wants me? No, you must be mistaken. He made it exceedingly clear the last time we spoke that he had no interest in my help. I find it hard to believe he's changed his mind. He said some very hurtful things to me before I left. Anyway, I'm quite happy in my current pursuits. So if you'll excuse me...
Vampires threaten all of Skyrim. We need your help.
Vampires? Really? Oh, and I suppose now he remembers that I proposed no less than 3 different scenarios that involved vampires overrunning the population. Well, what are they up to?
They have an Elder Scroll.
Well, that's actually something I never would have anticipated. Interesting. I'm not sure what they would do with one, but in this case, Isran is probably correct in thinking it isn't good. All right. If nothing else, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to learn more about what's going on so I can better defend myself. But I'm not just going to abandon what I've been working on here. It's too useful. I need at least 1 intact dwarven gyro. So either I need to find the satchel those mud crabs stole, or I need another gyro from someplace. You wouldn't happen to have one, would you?
There's no time. You need to get moving now.
Fine, fine. I can't afford to forget about this work, though. Some very interesting applications. Now, where is it I'm supposed to be going?
We're meeting at Fort Dawnguard.
Ah, been working more on his secret hideout, has he? It'll be interesting to see how much progress he's made. I'll finish up here and head in that direction as soon as I can. See you there.
Well, that was easy.
Farewell.
But it was dependent on persuasion checks succeeding, so I suppose it could have been us having to do something. Usually it tends to be a pointless task, but it could be a bit time consuming. Probably get dwarven gyros out of somewhere. Okay, well, it's one down. The other was near Iverstead. Yeah. Seriously near Iverstead. There he is. Are we hiding from somebody?
You there! Hold fast! I've tracked this damned bear for 2 weeks. I'll not let it have any more victims.
Isran needs your help.
Isran needing someone else's help. Never thought I'd hear that. I'm afraid he's a few years too late. I've moved on. I have more important business to attend to. Besides, he can handle anything alone. He assured me so himself. What could he possibly need my help with?
We're up against vampires.
Vampires? That might change things. Tell me more about what's going on.
We're not sure, but they have an Elder Scroll.
By the 8th. Alright, look. I'll consider it. But I can't just leave this bear to prey on more innocent people. Once it's dealt with, then perhaps I'll see what Isran expects of me.
Come on. No time to be chicken. Well, whatever you do, don't contribute to the fighting.
One less monster.
Jesus Christ, there's bees here. Tons of bees. Bees! We can fully understand the bee. Probably need about 20 of them, maybe? Ooh, more bees. Good, good, good. These buggers will be flying all over the place if we build the greenhouse in our own manner. Same with butterflies and other nasty things. There's no real practical worry because of them, but for some reason I don't like the idea of having insects all over my house. More bees. There's some bees. More bees. Bees. Bees? Bees? No bees. Bees. How many did we get? Quite a lot. 15 bees. Good. Ooh. Small bees. Just keep popping up from somewhere. Yeah, there's at least 2 more bees here. Okay, that's enough. We'll be getting a couple of soul gems out of this. Bear claws too. Ah, we already know what bear claws do.
Don't know how well I'd have managed by myself. You have my thanks. You've helped me, so I suppose the least I can do is find out what Isran wants. He's still at that fort near Stendar's beacon, I assume.
Yes, he said to meet him at Fort Dawnguard.
Of course he did. He's been working on that place for years now. Never lets anyone in. His own little fortress. Well, I guess I'll get to see what he's been up to all this time. I'll meet you there.
Okay, this is it. The locked room. Looks like a skill book. Lockpicking. Lockpicking would be another skill that I would have no second thoughts about turning it to legendary immediately. Totally worthless. We have to sacrifice quite a lot of level training in order to get there. It doesn't worth it. And I think the more important point in the legendary system is that you don't have to do that. You don't have to fully develop skills you don't really want to use. You can just go reset your skills you're using. I suppose one crafting skill could be used for that purpose. Alchemy would be quite a good one for that. Just over and over and over again, because I guess the time-consuming part or an ingredient-consuming part of that is the finding out the effects of the ingredients in the first place. After that, leveling up is fairly quick, especially if your skill is low, because it matters very little. It matters how good the effect is, but not how good potions you can make. So you can get the necessary level increases very, very quickly. Ooh. Some barriers, an actual gate. So immediate improvements. I see more people here too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes?
All Nord women. Okay. These are not going away apparently. It's my duty to clean this place up a bit. I want these things out of sight. What next? That wasn't really a proper quest. quest. Just go talk to two people, basically.
Alright, Isra. You've got us all here. Now what do you want?
Hold it right there.
What are you doing?
Making sure you're not vampires. Can't be too careful. So, welcome to Fort Dawnguard. I'm sure you've heard a bit of what we're up against. Powerful vampires, unlike anything we've seen before. And they have an Elder Scroll. If anyone is going to stand in their way, it's going to be us.
This is all well and good, but do we actually know anything about what they're doing? What do we do now?
We'll get to that. For now, get acquainted with the space. Soreen, you'll find room to start your tinkering on that crossbow design you've been working on. Gunmar, there's an area large enough for you to pen up some trolls. Get them armored up and ready for use. In the meantime, we're going to get to the bottom of why a vampire showed up here looking for you. Let's go have a little chat with it, shall we?
Hope you're getting along with Isran. It takes some getting used to. Well, this isn't exactly a palace, is it? Still, it's sturdy, secure, and seems defensible. I suppose I'd rather be here than most other places in Skyrim. If Isran needs me, it must be pretty bad. I wonder what we're up against here.
Can you teach me to be a better marksman?
I can certainly try.
So, master trainer in archery, okay. Do you know anything about the old Dawnguard?
I've only heard stories. Not sure if any of them are true. Like that they were supposed to guard some vampire here, but wound up all becoming vampires themselves when they saw how powerful he was. And then preyed on the rift until finally someone put them down. I guess it doesn't matter now. At least Isran is trying to do something noble with the name.
Can you teach me how to make a crossbow?
A basic one, of course. That is, assuming you know anything about steelsmithing. It's pretty simple.
I don't.
Talk to Gunmar if you need materials.
What can I do to help?
I want to add some punch to our crossbow capabilities. I've done all I can on my own. I need a little inspiration. I've always been fascinated with Dwemer artifacts. I take them apart, poke around in their guts, and try to figure things out, with mixed results. But as luck would have it, I've tracked down the location of some actual Dwemer diagram drawings. So, if you'd be a dear and collect those plans for me? It's not easy to get supplies way out here, but I'm managing. Take a look.
So, the basic structure of this is, as I understand it, is that you have the main storyline, but you have also sort of a parallel to that. There's a sort of a group of side activities that you can do to support the Dawnguard. Basically, get more things done. Maybe more people involved, but basically equipment upgrade. And as you upgrade, this place at least looks a little bit more prepared. I'm not sure what the real effects are, but I do want to do it. Sunfire. Ball of sunlight that does 25 points of damage to undead. Restoration attack spell. Holy shit. Cheap as hell. It cannot be a good one. He's a good one to do equipment dumps on.
See you.
So, ancient technology. Retrieve the enchanted crossbow schematic from White River Watch. Where's the other guy? Do you have something for me? It's night time, so it's probably in a bed somewhere.
Hope you're getting along with Isran. He'd take some getting used to.
What can I do for you?
What can I do to help?
Serene needs help with her project to improve our crossbows. And if that doesn't interest you, speak with Gunmar. He has something for you.
All right then.
I like what Isran has done with the place.
Here we are.
It's good to see someone else.
It begins again. I fear for what is to come.
Training in smithing.
Working metal isn't easy. Let me show you a few things.
So, archery, heavy armor, and smithing mastery. What can I do to help?
I found another beast hiding from the light of day. He's holed up with a group of bandits. We need to destroy him before he turns his comrades into a brood of vampires.
You can buy armor trolls for 500.
Isran had a surprising stockpile.
It's not a
of
good
weapons and
idea.
armor. Take a look.
It's because they're, while they might be more durable than normal trolls, they're still using the artificial intelligence of normal trolls, meaning they're not that aggressive in attacking and they're fairly slow in moving, so they're not a good companion to have around. Like a pretty typical smith. Nothing particularly good or bad about
Take care
him.
of yourself.
Preemptive strike, and they're proper quests. This is we'll see if they repeat themselves. I don't think the ancient technology one will at least repeat itself. Point being, it's not a repeatable thing. It has a start and an end. Then you have as much as it will ever go. We're not wasting our time doing them. Although they might seem very generic in some sense.
This vampire showed up while you were away. I'm guessing it's the one you found in Dim Hollow Crypt. Says it's got something really important to say to you. So let's hear it.
You probably weren't expecting to see me again.
What are you doing here?
I'd rather not be here either, but I needed to talk to you. It's important, so please just listen, before your friend here loses his patience. Well, it's about me, and the Elder Scroll that was buried with me.
What about you?
The reason I was down there, and why I had the Elder Scroll. It all comes back to my father. I'm guessing you figured this part out already, but my father's not exactly a good person, even by vampire standards. He wasn't always like that, though. There was a turn. He stumbled onto this obscure prophecy and just kind of lost himself in it.
What do you mean lost himself?
He just became absorbed. Obsessed. He was kind of sick, actually. The prophecy said that vampires would no longer need to fear the sun. For someone who fancied himself as vampire royalty, that's pretty seductive. Anyway, my mother and I didn't feel like inviting a war with all of Tamriel, so we tried to stop him. That's why I was sealed away with the scroll.
Took a big risk coming here.
I did, but something about you makes me think I can trust you. I hope I'm not wrong.
No, you're right. We just have to convince the others you're on our side.
Well, let's move then. I'm nothing if not persuasive.
Alright, you've heard what it has to say. Now tell me, is there any reason I shouldn't kill this blood-sucking fiend right now?
We're gonna need her help.
Why? Because of that story about the prophecy, about some vampire trying to put the sun out? Do you actually believe any of that?
Why else would she risk her life to come here?
Who knows? Maybe it has a death wish. Maybe it's just insane. I don't really care. It can stay for now. But if it so much as lays a finger on anyone here, I'll hold you responsible. Got it? You hear me? Don't feel like a guest, because you're not. You're a resource. You're an asset. In the meantime, don't make me regret my sudden outburst of tolerance and generosity. Because if you do, your friend here is going to pay for it.
Thank you for your kindness. I'll remember it the next time I'm feeling hungry. So, in case you didn't notice the giant thing on my back, I have the Elder Scroll with me. Whatever it says, it will have something that can help us stop my father. But of course, neither of us can read it.
Who can?
Well, the Moth Priests are the only ones I've heard of who can do it. They spend years preparing before they start reading, though. Not that it helps us anyway, because they're all half a continent away, in Cyrodiil.
Some Imperial scholar arrived in Skyrim a few days ago. I was staking out the road when I saw him pass by. Maybe that's your Moth Priest.
Do you know where he's staying now?
No, and I'm not going to waste men looking. We're fighting a war against your kind, and I intend to win it. You want to find him? Try talking to anyone who'd meet a traveler. Innkeepers and carriage drivers in the big cities, maybe. But you're on your own.
Any idea how you're going to find a Moth Priest? Skyrim's a pretty big place. Any idea how you're going to find a Moth Priest? Skyrim's a pretty big place.
Do you have any ideas?
Well, back before you know. The College of Winterhold was the first place I'd think to go for any kind of magic or historical thing. The wizards know about all kinds of things that people probably shouldn't know about. Actually, now that I think of it, I'm going to come along with you. I've been really wanting to get out and explore a bit.
What do you know about Elder Scrolls?
I mean, as much as anyone. Not a lot. You'd figure a couple hundred years locked away with one would have given me some insight, but no. Turns out you don't learn much from just sleeping with something.
We'll have to keep looking for the Moth Priest then.
I guess so.
Yeah. Ah, the delay on the anime lip syncing. Ugh. Sometimes you just can't ignore it. Were you always a vampire?
That's a long story.
I want to hear it.
I guess we kind of have to go way back, to the very beginning. Do you know where vampirism came from?
I don't know much about it.
The first vampire came from Molag Bal. She was not a willing subject, but she was still the first. Molag Bal is a powerful Daedric lord, and his will is made reality. For those willing to subjugate themselves, he will still bestow the gift, but they must be powerful in their own right before earning his trust.
How did you actually become a vampire then?
The ceremony was degrading. Let's not revisit that. But we all took part in it. Not really wholesome family activity, but I guess it's something you do when you give yourselves to a Daedric lord.
How has it affected your family?
Well, you've met most of us. My father's not exactly the most stable, and eventually he drove my mother crazy with him. And it all ended with me being locked underground for who knows how long. It's definitely been a bad thing, on the whole.
Are you alright?
I will be. Just give me a little time.
I guess we have a shadow now. For the moment, I'll end here. I'd like to have focus on the side activities first, strengthening Dawnguard. We can move along the main plot at the same time, at least track down the Moth Priest, things like that. Depends on how involving these side missions are. I don't think they're too involving. They're basically, one is asking us to find a single piece of item at a location, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be somewhat randomized where it sends us. and other seems to be kill vampires, which we are very good at doing already, so I don't see these taking too long. We might complete multiples, or every time we want to move up the actual main story quest forward. We'll see. I do hope that with they provide more spells in the future. I mean, Sunfire, it's not bad, but is it novice level? Apprentice. Still, I think I can already use expert level. So that's still quite far away from what we can currently do. Damage is also pretty poor. The strength, I guess, would be that we can only affect undead with this, so we can just spam, 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 spam. Wonderful spam. Yep, there's no need to hold back. But still, if there are more powerful versions of something like that, it might be our first reason to invest in restoration. Yeah, we're 2 points away from getting the spells are more effective against undead. I think this is like 25% more. It's not a massive increase, but it's an increase. I think it applies to pretty much everything. We could move destruction forward. Was conjuration forward. Reanimated undead have 100 points more health. It just doesn't make a difference. It helps. It's a positive thing, but it's not a drastic difference maker. $93. We're 1 point away from 10% extra magic resistance. 6 points away from expert alteration. Then we need 100. Absorb 30% of the magicka of any spells that hit you. I think this is what it basically should be doing. I don't think the description is particularly good. Is that it basically is a 30% chance to absorb this entire spell. I'm not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Actually, it's a very powerful ability. However, what I'm referring to is, does it apply only to hostile abilities or not? I mean, I'm constantly buffing and turning invisible, muffling. If it also basically means third of our spells are gonna basically turn to shit, it's not a good thing for us. It would be a great thing for anyone who doesn't rely too much on magic. Magic is our life. We cannot have it fail under any circumstances. What's the other stability? Alteration spells have greater duration. This would be very welcome, yes. Infection spells are small. Still too many places for where we can spend our points. And do we want crossbows? Not yet. 100 damage would be boosted drastically. Archery would be boosted. We would have to invest a couple of points in sneak damage too. We'll see. I do want to invest now in casting, but we're reaching the point where we can start turning people skills into legendary. After that, I might make a shift toward trying where we can basically use spellcasting as our armor and use melee fighting, use backstabbing, the dagger fighting styles, things like that. but I don't want to divert there until we can turn something into legendary, because otherwise we already could use half a dozen perks at least, probably more, and we just don't have them. So if I start, the moment I start spreading before that legendary point, is just we're not going to be able to do anything well. So we need at least something to rely on. Ooh, White River Watch. It's not even outside the. No, it's already cleared. What was it? Ah, yeah, it's the. Okay, I know what it is. It's outside. It's it's basically a cave entrance down, and it pops out again higher in the mountain. That's why it's shown outside. Silent Moon's camp. Volkihar Master Vampire. Very close to each other. And I guess we're going to go to Winterhold as Quatermath Priest. But after we've done the secondary missions, since we have to want to do more of them at the moment. Yeah, and carry weight, we have a huge amount of it, don't have to do anything. So, more Dawnguard business.